What is good, YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys, and we have some more breaking news, highlights, observations, and news and notes from Pittsburgh Steelers training camp. Very exciting day today, but things got very chippy here at practice. But in this video, I primarily want to talk about some of the guys who have been standing out in practice and some guys that you need to keep your eye on if you're a Steelers fan going forward throughout the rest of training camp. But I do want to talk about real quick. Joey Porter, George Pickens got into a little scuffle. Seemed very interesting. I read somewhere that George Pickens snatched Joey Porter's chain during practice. A little bit crazy, but these two guys are dogs. I wouldn't think too much of it. They're competitors. They want to win each and every single rep, so this just makes them better at the end of the day. Hopefully it doesn't continue to happen because obviously you want a sense of team chemistry, but I think that this just shows right away these guys are dogs. They want to win every single possession, and that means a lot at the NFL level. So without any further ado, let's get into some of the breakouts at practice. Kenny Pickett starting to really light it up on his feet, as you saw right there. He's being a good passer. He's getting in and out of his progression, so that is a good thing for him. Another guy's been looking really, really good. Nick Herbig. The reason I said Nate is because his brother's on the team as offensive lineman, but Nick Herbig has been absolutely incredible. One of the most impressive players through whole camp. Obviously, an edge rusher. You have Alex Highsmith. You have T.J. Watt, but Nick Herbig could be the next man up. I mean, this guy's been getting to the quarterback left and right, doing whatever it takes to, make plays on the field whenever he gets the opportunity, and he's done a great job so far. But we won't know more until the pads come on. I want to see if he continues to do this with the pads, with full reps going, because, it's a little bit easier getting to the quarterback with no pads on, and linemen, aren't doing too much. You know what I mean? Another guy who's been looking really good is Elijah Riley at the nickel spot for corner. He has a couple of days with interceptions. He had a day 2 sack. He's just looking good, man. I mean, he looks like a natural fit. Looks like he's been here for a while now, and that's something that they've been looking for. But he is maybe the third, maybe the second nickelback. And I'm not talking about the band. The nickel on this team. Elijah Riley, you got Shannon Sullivan, you got Duke Dawson, who got some first team reps with the defense on day 1, I believe. So keep an eye on for Elijah Riley. Also Deontay Johnson, a couple of days here getting injured at practice. Hopefully he's okay. Day 1 he slipped, fell, grabbed his knee, looked to get back in. Day 2 he got carted off. Think he's okay though. I haven't heard anything crazy about that. Another guy who's been looking good on the offense is Anthony McFarland, man. Anthony McFarland looks to be the third running back on the roster. The one downside to it is, for Anthony McFarland is he's the third running back. I mean, you got Najee, you got Jalen Warren, who they absolutely love. Anthony McFarland is just kind of fighting for a rush spot at the point or at the time with, Jason Huntley, Alfonso Graham, Darius Hagan. So he's fighting for that rush spot. Right now it looks like he's probably going to get it because he's been really, really good over the first 2 days of camp. But he's got to continue to show that because, easily someone can come in and play better than him. Now, another clear winner at camp day 2, Allen Robinson, man. Allen Robinson was absolutely incredible. I mean, he's making plays inside. He's making plays outside. He looks like, and there you go, right there. He has instant connection with Kenny Pickett. I mean, it's easy to say if they continue to dominate like this in practice, he's going to be very effective for this team come the start of the season. So that's one thing I've noticed, going forward is they look good, man. They look very, very good, and I'm excited to see them continue to build chemistry, continue to do the things that they need to do in order to be a good team, a good offense here in 2023, 2024. Now, the last player I have that's been playing really well is the guy right there, Connor Hayward. Now, he has been doing a bunch of things. He looks like he's the primary backup option behind Pat Frymuth as a receiving tight end, but the team has also used Zach Gentry and Darnell Washington as blockers, so I think you might even see like 3 tight ends being played a lot this season for the Steelers in terms of Pat Frymuth, Darnell Washington, Connor Hayward, and then Zach Gentry, even a guy who is a good blocker as well. So you might even see all of these guys get some reps during the regular season. If I'm being, honest. But I think Darnell Washington holds a lot of upside in terms of, he can be a good a guy to give him the ball, man. He can make big time plays, but also can block as well. But overall, when I look at the Steelers team, I see a lot of guys who, not only want to win but want to compete. I mean, at the offensive level, you have those three guys in George Pickens, Allen Robinson, Deontay Johnson, and even Calvin Austin. Although he didn't have a good day one, day two, he looked a little bit better. Offensive line-wise, you bring in Broderick Jones in the first round. You bring in Isaac Sumalo. You have James Daniels. I mean, the offensive line looks really, really improved. So that's something to note. Pat Freiermuth, Zach Gentry, Darnell Washington, Connor Haywood, who also is mixed in at fullback as well. So that's something that's very interesting for Connor Hayward. And then the running back room looks good. Kenny Pickett is getting better. So everything is looking good for the offense. And not to mention the defense. I mean, the defense looks incredible as well. I mean, Mark Robinson could be a breakout player here this year. Obviously, we talked about Nick Herbig and Keanu Benson, the second-round pick this year. Man, this team looks good, man. This team looks good. Although there's been some scuffles, although there's been some, some disagreements on the field, I think this team is headed in the right direction. If they continue to improve, there's going to be a lot to talk about over the next few weeks here at Steelers practice. And don't you guys worry. I'm going to be covering everything when it comes to the Steelers practices. All the highlights, news, notes, observations. I'm going to be covering signings, trades, anything that goes down in the NFL. I got you guys covered. So make sure you guys join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we go live for a game, every time we post a video. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.